afternoon, Kurt Capra here with your daily recap for this Monday, April 10th. Hope everybody had a great trading day, although it was a pretty tight range once again here. As you can see, I've got a chart of the S&P up, and here we go, getting squeezed still yet between the 20-day and 50-day moving averages. Another inside day overall. However, the S&P was able to close up ever so slightly, just scratching out barely green to finish things off here. But overall, again, like I said, meaningless one way or the other in terms of really a decisive direction here. You can see based on this daily chart, we did take out Friday's high, but could not hold on, fell back below the 20-day moving average, as well as Friday's high, closing in the middle of this range here once again. And so, as I offered this morning, the real important aspect of what's going on here right now is really going to be waiting to see, do we close above or below at this point either the 20-day moving average or the 50-day moving average, just for purposes of simplicity. If we can get a close on either side of those reference points, then I think we could start looking at and getting a more decisive move one way or the other. But until then, it's just going to be a wait and see. Now, we do have Fed Chair Yellen speaking here shortly, and so we'll see if she says anything to spark some movement here in the market after hours, to where it has any kind of significant impact on where things are going to be opening tomorrow. But we'll take it a step at a time and go from there. Now, just to take a quick look at the Qs, they didn't do much here either, still sitting on top of the 20-day moving average. Like I said, not much to really speak of with regard to how they finished the day either, but they continue to show relative strength. IBB, talked about this one this morning, mentioning how it had a strong day on Friday, but at the same time would struggle to follow through higher given the amount of overhead reference points. And so after trying to push up, it did come back in, so it closed the day down, almost down 0.5%, not quite, but down nonetheless. So you got to be aware of these levels and paying attention to what's going on. And at this point now, we'll see if it comes back down to this prior low here, before then maybe heading down to test this 100-day moving average, and ultimately 200-day as well, around the 280 mark. So we'll continue to watch and see how this develops as well. Financials really didn't do much of anything, trading inside of Friday's range for the most part, still staying weak overall, but again, no real definitive movement one way or the other. And in the short term, it's a little, I don't want to say frustrating, but it can really test your patience and discipline in the short term. But these inside days, what they begin to offer is the increased likelihood for an expansion in volatility. So we'll look for that, hope for that to happen here sooner than later, and some momentum to really start coming back in, volatility to really start coming back in. But until then, like I said, we just got to stay patient and wait for our time. Just taking a quick look at the VIX. Interestingly enough, it did close up here today. So you got the VIX closing up, which, if you're not familiar with the VIX, it's an inverse internal. So if it's up, generally that correlates to a market which is down. And as we already looked at, we really didn't have a down market. If anything, it was just a very neutral market. So this is something that we want to continue to pay attention to, because it is not a relationship that will typically last for very long, where you have the VIX finishing higher and the market really not responding. So it may be an indication of complacency, where if the VIX continues to rise, the market can fall and may do so very quickly, or the VIX will start coming back in, and you could get a pretty quick move to the upside. But either way, we do want to pay attention to how this plays out over time. Some individual names, Tesla just continues to push its way higher. Mentioned it earlier in the morning call, and sure enough, got a nice open to start the day and was able to finish up just over 3%. You have Apple, which was pretty quiet. I mean, still holding above the 20-day. Maybe it gets a bounce tomorrow. We'll have to see. But also Baba. You know, Baba had a really nice push up here today, and just looks really good. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be looking for Baba to continue pushing up towards the 120 level before hitting that all-time high. At that point, we could get a bit of a pause, but then I do expect that this can continue to move higher from there. So all in all, I think Baba is definitely one of the better looking names out there at this point, after a period of time where it was really a very frustrating name to trade for many. But it looks like it's getting itself together here, cleaning itself up quite well. So we'll see. But other than that, guys, hope you had a great day. Again, you know, got to be patient, got to be disciplined in this kind of environment where you've got low volatility, and this way, if you can withstand that, when the time comes, you'll be ready to take advantage of it. So as always, you know, we'll keep you up to date what's going on, and letting you know any new changes, what we're seeing, what we're thinking. So until tomorrow, have a great evening, and we'll talk to you then.